Welcome to my channel, Sarah Crochet Corner. Today I brought you a video that teaches how to crochet. Okay, you might think, how is my video tutorial is different from there are many channels who teaches how to crochet. I would say mine is really different because I'm not going to teach you what is a single crochet, what is a double crochet. I would teach you that, but that is a later point. I'm here to teach you the first and main important part of crochet is how to hold a crochet hook. You know, there are different ways to hold. People do it different ways, but I'm going to teach you very basic, and you might like to see how I do it and how others do it. But I'm going to teach you how to control, have a balance with your yarn, how to play with your yarn, how to hold it, and especially crocheting is all about first to hold it, how we hold this hook, and using two hands together simultaneously, how we keep our balance with the yarn and the crochet, to pull to and push. I'm going to teach you all those basic essential things about crochet. All right, let's get started. I'm using 100% acrylic yarn. You can use any yarn that is available to you. It doesn't really matter if it's 100% cotton or a worsted weight. This particular yarn is worsted weight, 4-ply. It really doesn't matter. You can use any yarn that is available to you. Okay, and once you have learned the basics of it, then you can choose your project and choose the yarn accordingly. So let's get started. First thing, we pull the yarn from either side, either this side or this side, and there's a yarn that you can even pull from the top. Okay, but usually it is always good to pull the yarn from the center way, either this way or this way. So I already pulled to save the time. So it usually comes out like this sometimes when you really don't find the start of it. So I already pulled it. I'll show you. So there are people I've seen, they crochet with both the hands, left or right. I am personally a left-handed person, but I have learned crocheting with my right hand. That's how I learned when I was 12 years old. So I'm going to teach you my way, which is very simple. I did take classes of how to crochet for a couple of young girls last summer, and I do have plans to take classes this year as well. That was in person, but I thought it would be good if I share my way of teaching crochet on YouTube. Okay, so let's get started. When you pull out your yarn from this side, we will make a simple knot that is called a slip knot to begin crocheting through a loop. So you will have to make a loop. So how do we make that? It's very simple. You can weigh, the yarn is not first thing, it's not first time for anybody, but yes, for those it is first time. You know how to make a loop. We do that on our shoelaces as well. So it is simply make a tiny circle, okay, and pull through this end or from this end. Basically we will, this side is our working yarn and this is the tail yarn. Okay, so we'll take the working yarn and pull through, go from bottom and pull this little thing out, and this is our loop, a working loop, a working yarn. Okay, this side. So now there are different ways to hold the crochet hook. Some people hold it from bottom to top like this. I work from top to bottom like this. I hold my crochet hook this way. For this yarn, every yarn tells you to use a particular sized hook. So this one recommended a 5mm hook. Is for a millimeter, so I'm using a 5mm hook. You can choose, you can buy different sized hook, and when you're buying yarn, you can also see which one that it recommends, and you can use that particular hook. So once we have our loop, we will insert our hook in that loop. Okay, you can insert from any way. All right, and tight this loop a little, not too tight, because you have to work in this through this loop. So make sure your hook and loop are this loose. Okay, so you have to, because this is the only loop that you have to work through it. Okay, so let's start. And how to hold the working yarn in your left hand. Okay, I'll show you. So you can, do either just one loop around your finger, or make several loops like this on your finger, like this. I personally prefer one time. I just, go around one time, or just hold it just this way, just like this. Okay, like we see on a sewing machines. So to show you, I'm using one or two, maybe just one, to show it perfectly. And hold with your middle finger of left hand and thumb, you will hold your loop. Okay, now you see how my left hand is moving. So I'm holding the working hand here and holding with my middle finger and thumb here. Now you have to make sure the yarn between your left hand and the hook, it is not loose like this. Okay, it would be difficult to work because it has no grip on here. You have to make sure it is little pulled back. Okay, and it is steady. The working yarn is steady like this, firm. So now we are going to use our right hand, pulling back and forth with the hook and pulling the yarn towards our right side like this. Okay, now how to use this hook? You would go from bottom to top like that, and the curve on the hook, this is where you make sure your yarn is coming, and you have to pull like this, if you carefully see. Okay, I'll show that again. Go from bottom. Okay, and you see how am I moving my right hand? You have to pull that right hand and pull through the loop that is on your hook, and like this. So your hand, the grip, the balance, the tightening and loosening of your fingers with the yarn makes all sense to crochet. So now I'll show that one more time. Okay, we have inserted the hook and I'm holding the yarn. Okay, when I just hold like this, I have my ring finger and little finger holding the yarn here. Okay, if it seems very difficult, just do like this, so you have control on your index finger for your yarn, and your two little fingers can hold a yarn like this. All right, and all the fingers are playing an important role to hold the hook, the loop, the yarn. Okay, now go from bottom, and just now we are not doing anything with our left hand. It is steady, and we are just using our right hand to pull the loop through the, pulling the yarn through the loop, and we made our first chain. Okay, let's make couple more chains. So your yarn here cannot be loose. Okay, you cannot hold it. If it is little tight, then you'll be able to pull the yarn through the hook. So we have gone from bottom and pull through the loop like this. Make sure your loop is not too loose, neither too tight. Okay, you see how it works? So make sure it is little loose so you can yarn over. When we do this process is called yarn over and pull through the loop to make chains, and these chains are called foundation chains. I'll do that one more time to show clearly. Okay, we made a loop, a slip knot. Okay, this is called slip knot. To make a loop, we inserted our hook, so the loose end would come towards the right hand side and the working yarn would go left side. We will do turn around our finger. We will make 1 or 2 loops like this and hold middle finger and thumb. We'll hold our loop and yarn over. Okay, you can do either this or you can just simply go from bottom and this, so your fingers would automatically move as and when you're going through the loop. Yarn over from bottom and pull through the loop. I kept my loop loose so I can move around without any trouble. Okay, now the length between the finger and the loose hook has reduced because I used that little yarn. So I would release like this. So you have to keep adjusting your fingers back and forth while you are working. See my loop? It was loose. So I'm keeping, as and when I'm making chains, I'm making sure my fingers are moving to hold the working stitch. Okay, so I'll go from bottom, and when you are moving the hook, it should face down. Okay, you see this curved part, it would face down when you're pulling through. It might not really face down for some people, but it usually gets that way. Okay, yarn over, pull through. So when I'm moving further, I'm making sure my stitches, my fingers are automatically moving to hold my stitches. From bottom, go up, yarn over, pull through the loop. Yarn over, pull through the loop. And your fingers would keep moving on its own as and when you see you're going through and pulling through. Okay, so when I push this backwards to hold the yarn tight, it would automatically, the yarn would, pass through my fingers. It will get increase here, see. So this is how you make your foundation chains. Okay, the position of fingers, how does the yarn go through, how it faces up and down, you see, like this. Now until I have grip, I need not push my hand, but for beginners it is important to hold the stitches because not every chain would have the same size of it. Some chains would be loose, some would be tight. So it only forms that way when you are holding properly your hook, your stitches, when you have grip on your yarn. See, so here I'm holding my every stitch whenever I'm yarning over and pulling through. Okay, so this is how you would hold the yarn, have control on your hook, and pull through, yarn over, pull through the stitches, through the loops, and make foundation chains. You see this flat part where it is mentioned the size of the hook. Okay, there is how, this is the place where you hold your hook, the thumb. It goes on that flat area. Some people, if you hold it here, you would not be able to work. It is only when you hold rightly the hook and work. So if you noticed, I'm also using my left hand index finger to hold my loops. It is not necessary, but it automatically, your fingers move while you are working. When you take a pause, then you make put your fingers, move around to hold the yarn, to hold the hook, to hold your stitches, your loops, and like this you make multiple foundation chains. And if you see the foundation chains, some are really all same size chains, but this one's, you see, because maybe the loop was loose, that's how it is bigger than the other chains. If you see, some are literally small, some are big, but as and when you would work through it, you would learn how to do it. So for today's video, this is it. Continue to work, and I hope you have more interest to learn, where I can bring great videos on how to even work on a pattern, how to design a pattern, how to do the stitches, single crochet. In next video I would teach you how to work single crochet and double crochet, half double crochet, and many other things. The crochet world is big, but we will learn one by one thing each day. So today I taught you how to hold the yarn, how to correctly hold it, how to make a loop, how to pull through the loop and make foundation chains. It all depends on how you hold the yarn and the hook, and that's how you would learn how to crochet. Learning crochet is not the stitches, it is the way you hold the perfectly this hook, and how to work through the yarns, how to have grip on it. Okay, so I hope this helped you out today. I'll bring more such interesting things about crochet and the stitches. Please continue to watch and go back and pause and see wherever you feel that you're not able to do it. I appreciate you came here to learn, and please subscribe my channel and support me. I look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you.